Hello and welcome to this Energy Security Policy class. My name is Heather Bell and I'll be your instructor for this class. I'm really glad you're here and I'm looking forward to meeting all of you. Until then, I've created 3 brief videos to introduce and outline the class. The first video will be an introduction to the class and to the concepts. The second video will outline your course learning journey so you'll understand what you'll be doing on this class. And the third will talk about the readings that you will do before we meet. Now with that, we'll start our introduction video. Videos will consist of the introductory video, which is what you're listening to right now, which will just give a bit of background on energy security policy and policy formation. The second pre-course video will be the course learning journey. This will go over the activities, the learning processes, and the assessments that you'll undertake during this class. This class might be a little different than other classes you've taken. So this video is meant to help you understand how the course will flow and how the different activities will enhance your learning. The third pre-course video describes the course readings, discussions of the pre-course readings, and what to look out for as you're doing the readings to help prepare you for the readings and make you comfortable with them before you undertake them. Now I'd like to talk just a little bit about 2 key concepts. One is energy security and what we mean when we say that. Energy security typically refers to having an uninterrupted supply of energy resources and being able to afford them. So this encompasses a few dimensions that include the reliability of your energy sources, like is your energy stable and consistent in its supply? Are there disruptions to that supply? Is it available? Do you have access to sufficient energy resources? Is it enough to meet your current demands, and is it enough to meet your future demands? Is the energy affordable? Energy prices that are stable and not horribly high such that people can afford them and businesses can afford them. That makes energy accessible to consumers and to the industries that keep your economy running. Now, is the energy supply sustainable is another part of energy security. This means, are you utilizing energy resources that can continue to be used, that are able to be found? This often refers to renewable and environmentally carbon non-intensive sources. But it also refers to just ensuring that you have a long-term energy supply and that supply, as best as possible, minimizes environmental impact. So that often moves beyond renewables and a focus just on that and looks at the actual carbon output of any energy resource. And then there's the issue of resilience. That's the ability of an energy system to withstand a shock. So a shock can be a natural disaster, it can be a war, some other sort of geopolitical conflict where one country cuts off supplies to another country. It can also be a market fluctuation, such as a stock market fluctuation that sends oil prices really highly up or down. Can your energy system withstand that, and can it recover from it? Do you have backups and contingencies in place? So energy security is really critical for modern economies, for modern states, and for the well-being of a society. So we need to think about how a country diversifies its energy resources, how it improves the efficiency of the resources it does have, how its grid can handle what's coming into it, and how its grid can distribute that energy to individuals, households, and industries, and how other infrastructure can mitigate risks associated with supply disruptions and with shocks to the system. Now, let's talk about public policy. So public policy itself refers to a system of laws, regulations, actions, funding priorities, particularly those established by governmental entities and leaders that address specific public issues. So these activities and decisions made by governments are meant to enhance society and make a society function. So some of the key aspects when we talk about public policy include legislation. So these are laws enacted by legislative bodies. In the United States, you would think of Congress when you think of legislation, because that is the legislative branch of government. Legislation covers all kinds of issues, domestic and international: healthcare, education, energy, the environment, and the economy. Now, there's also regulations. These are rules and standards set by government agencies or enacted by legislation itself to control, to guide, to incentivize behavior of individuals and organizations. So often, regulations can be generally created by a legislative body, and then they can be interpreted and enacted by an executive branch of a government. So in the United States, often regulations come in broad terms from Congress, and then executive agencies, so that's often referred to as the Department of. So in our case, it would be often Department of Energy or Department of Commerce, would then enact the regulation and interpret it. There's also executive actions, which are decisions and actions taken by government executives. Typically, we think of presidents doing it, but governors can do it, mayors can do it. Within their power capacity, they can often undertake executive actions to implement and enforce laws and policies that they do not need to wait for legislation to do. Then there's court rulings. So this covers judicial decisions. Court rulings can interpret laws. They can decide laws are not congruent with a national system. So in the United States, we can say a law is unconstitutional. So these judicial decisions can shape public policy and set legal precedent so that when a similar question comes up in the future, lawmakers will and government agencies will hearken back to those precedents for how to act going forward. Then there's, of course, the budget, which is the allocation of financial resources to different sectors and programs. And those budgets are not just given to an agency in a lump sum. They are given with descriptions as to what policy objectives and goals they are meant to achieve. So the different stages of policy development can be thought of as including agenda setting. So when you set an agenda, you identify and prioritize issues that are worthy of the government's attention. So should the government act on this is part of the agenda setting. And you'll see a lot of think tanks and organizations, nonprofit organizations, really hoping to influence the agenda setting of a government or a political party. Then there's the policy formation itself, and those are the strategies and proposals to address the issues that have been identified as needing attention. And then the policy needs to be adopted. So then the legislative body or government agency or a leader will officially decide on a particular course of action. Again, that can be through legislation, like with Congress, that can be through executive orders, as with the president, or that can be with regulations and programs entrusted to government agencies. And then the policies themselves have to be implemented. So once a policy is set, it has to be actioned. Often that falls to government agencies and programs. They receive funding and a mandate, and then they have to some extent, interpret it and enact it. And then they also have to account for it. So the last stage is the evaluation of policy, which is when the effectiveness and the impact of the policies and the programs under those policies are reviewed and adjustments are made. And there are governmental organizations dedicated to auditing government programs and making those decisions and advising Congress on if resources are really achieving the policy goals expected by those policies. Public policy is also, as I alluded to, shaped by a variety of stakeholders, including government officials, interest groups, researchers, and even the public. Public policy is supposed to reflect the values, the goals, the priorities of a society, and it's supposed to evolve as circumstances change. This leads us then to energy security policy. So energy security policy thus would refer to things like legislation, regulation, executive orders, judicial decisions, and budgets that help ensure an uninterrupted and available supply of energy at a price that the public and industry can afford. And policies that enable energy to be reliable, available, affordable, sustainable, and resilient. Stakeholders concerned with energy security policy thus will try to take action in order to set agendas, to form policy, and to have governments adopt policy that achieve those energy security goals. This is the end of your first video, and next you should move to the video on your course learning journey. Thank you.